Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday, March 30th, and the MLB. Our three favorite plays are on the way in this video. We got two game picks and one no-run first inning. As always, it is Austin, joined by Logan. Yesterday was our first real bad day, Logan, and it could have honestly been even worse. But let's recap. We magically cashed the NRFI in Seattle. If you watched that one, man, I don't know if it would have cashed if we were on a NRFI stream now I think about it, but bases loaded, no outs, and we managed to escape that. We'll take it because the other three picks, we had Ozuna, who went 0 for 1 with 3 walks. What the hell are we supposed to do there? My Adolis Garcia VIP play, he had a homer. He had a big day. Bad read there. And then Mets and Astros refused to get any hits with runners in scoring position. They prefer double plays. So either way, a 1-3 day. Logan and I are a little bit angry, but you know what? It's a long season. There's plenty of time to make that money back, Logan. Let's dive in on a Sunday for baseball. We got 3 picks, like I said. Logan's going to lead things off with the money line. Then I got a game pick, and then we'll wrap things up with the NRFI. And if you've seen where we've gone the last few days, you probably shouldn't be surprised about where we're going today. But stay tuned for NRFI Nation to wave the flags. No exclusive plays today. Really want to dial back the card, especially on a Sunday. So we'll stick to these 3 plays, and let's rock and roll and have a good day. But Logan, you're going to lead things off with your favorite money line of the day, and I need them to come through. Where are you headed?
Yeah, it's a slight underdog money line, but they're playing at home, which we do like. Taking the Marlins on the money line, plus 100 odds on BetMGM, currently your best value there. Now, I am rolling with the Marlins coming off a 12th inning win. I'm backing them to stack another win and start the season 3-1. That would be really great for this young Marlins team. Who's starting today? It's going to be Max Meyer starting for the Marlins. Last season, he was unbackable, 5.68 ERA in just 11 games. So, again, the sample size is not huge, but he struggled with a lot of different things. He just wasn't ready last season. This season, though, there's a lot that I do like about the prospect of Max Meyer. In spring training, for starters, 3.21 ERA in 5 games. He also only had 2 walks in those starts. I don't want to see high walks for a young pitcher like this. And he really worked on a few things. He added a sweeper. He changed his fastball shape. And his velo was up since spring training. His slider is his go-to pitch already. That is already an elite slider. It's how he earned a spot in this rotation. He just had to work on those other pitches. Again, the fastball shape is important because hitters were definitely keying on that. You got to change up the shapes. You got to go back into the pitching lab, and you got to fix what wasn't working last year because a whole lot wasn't working. So I do really like what Max Meyer should be able to do. Again, adding that sweeper in there. I do want to see how much he uses that to start the season, but he's facing a Pirates lineup that just isn't daunting. Like, this is not a tough matchup at all. They're only hitting 189 on the season, so sub 200. And outside of O'Neal Cruz and Brian Reynolds, guys like that, I don't fear a lot of these hitters. I mean, look, I'll take my chances with Triolo hitting, extra base hits and guys in the bottom of this Pirates order coming through. I'll bet against it any day of the week. I think Max Meyer has a pretty solid start to the season, and he's definitely a guy that can rack up the strikeouts. This Pirates team is not familiar with him. I think Max Meyer has a solid start. And on the other side, it's going to be Andrew Heaney starting for the Pirates. Last season with the Rangers, Heaney had a 4.28 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. Okay numbers for Heaney. It's about what you're going to get. He's a 4+ ERA type guy. The Marlins team, they know how to stack hits. They are probably going to be a small ball type team we want to target when they're facing a pitcher that can give up hits, which they are today. They're already hitting 255 this season, and guys like Stowers, Otto Lopez, and Dane Myers, they all had 3-hit game yesterday. I love seeing that. I love seeing guys come out of the gates hot, and the Marlins lineup has several of those guys that are able to not just put the ball in play, but get those hits to really drop. Against Heaney, I trust him to put the ball in play because he's not an elite strikeout guy. Also, something about Heaney, ground ball percentage, terrible. 7th percentile in ground ball percentage last season. So if they can elevate his pitches, then they go a long way because his hard hit percentage is also pretty bad. I think this Marlins team is definitely going to have big innings against Heaney and get those guys home. Heaney also has a juiced 4.5 hits allowed line. The offense should be there. I mean, they don't just give a juiced 4.5 hits allowed line for any old pitchers. I think the Marlins definitely get the offense rolling today, get another home win. They play at home tomorrow, which I do like. Pirates are back on the road tomorrow. So getaway day, sometimes you see these teams come out a little extra flat, right? And I think we could see that for the Pirates. Totally a possibility. I think the Marlins get the win. And at that slight plus money price, I love that even more. Austin, what you rolling with today, though?
Yeah, man, I love the fish. I hope they can lock in and get us another win that series 3-1 instead of splitting 2-2. My favorite pick, I don't have a prop I love today. I try to tend to avoid props on Sundays. We looked at maybe Tanner Bybee's under and outs, but I'd rather not force one out there. Instead, I have a game pick, and we're actually going to Sunday Night Baseball, where we have a little bit of a tricky play, but stay locked in. There's a couple books that have this, and that's going to be the Braves and Padres, both teams to score 2 or more runs in the first 7 innings. It's minus 130 on DraftKings, a 1-unit play. You'll be able to find this on DraftKings if you have a DraftKings account. You can go to, I believe the tab is called First X Innings. You scroll down. They have the ability to bet this through the first 5, which is going to be good plus money. I'd rather get an extra couple innings in there as first 7 innings. I think this is a higher scoring game on Sunday Night Baseball. And heck, 2 runs from each team through 7 doesn't necessarily conduce it's not very a high scoring game, but I really think there's going to be at least 2 runs from each side. You can also find this on BetMGM. It's under the innings tab, I believe. So I really think there's going to be runs from both sides. Yesterday, there was no runs from both sides. We would know Ozuna 0 for 1 with 3 walks. And then we had the Padres putting up a big 1 run. So I like to target these offenses, which we know are going to be much better on the full season to figure things out tonight. Now, you see the 2 pitchers, starting pitchers. We have AJ Smith-Shawver and Nick Pivetta. I can begin first with Nick Pivetta. He's coming in here, signed a deal with the Padres, and he's always been a mid-4 ERA guy. He's not going to probably go out there and shove a 2 ERA. He's always going to be in that mid 4 something ERA. Last year was 4.14 ERA. He's allowed 28 home runs last season, 10th percentile in barrel percentage, 6th in ground ball percentage. We know this is a Braves offense, sure, without my boy Acuna, who I'm rocking his jersey. They still have a ton of firepower in this lineup, and they're capable of one guy getting on, Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna hitting a 2-run home run. So I think they're going to be able to do their thing today. They've seen Pivetta a good amount. Last year, they saw him twice. One time, 0 earned runs. The other time, 5. So we'll see what we get out of this Braves offense, who put up a goose egg yesterday. So I expect them to be a little bit better. Also, the Braves lost the first 3 games of the series. So you have to assume they would lock in and hopefully not be swept 4-0 to the Padres. So it's a big game. Hopefully they can step up and at least get some runs going on Pivetta. On the other side, AJ Smith-Shawver will start for the Braves. Didn't really pitch much in 2024. He was not great in 2023 with a 4.26 ERA. His last 3 spring training starts, 2 earned runs in all 3 of them, only pitching 4 innings. We know this Padres offense is littered with talent. Fernando Tatis is healthy, and he's looking really good. We know Jackson Merrill in the middle of that lineup, Manny Machado. All these guys, Luis Arraez is a pest on the base path. So, again, you got a lot of guys that I think can get on base, and then we just need some guys to hit us home. And I think there's going to be plenty of chances. I think this cashes in the first 5 innings, but we'll buy a couple extra innings, and we'll take it to the first 7 for each team to score 2 on Sunday Night Baseball. Let's bring out the juice balls. Send them to San Diego. Let's get some home runs, and let's get some runs up on the board after what happened yesterday. Technically, the first 2 games of this series, this play did hit. So yesterday didn't. Let's hope it goes 3-1 in this series, and I certainly think it is a winner. Again, Braves, Padres, both to score 2 in the first 5. I think that is absolutely locked in for a winner. But man, Logan, I reckon you know what time it is, baby. Get the music going and the flags are out. NRFI Nation off to a great start to the season. And we already spoiled it, Logan, where we're headed. Look, if a team gets bases loaded and they can't score with no outs, yeah, better believe Logan and I are finding our way back there. So yeah, we're going back to where we've been the last few days, and that's going to be in the A's and Mariners no run first inning. It is minus 120 on Bet365 today. You'll notice we're upping them to 1 unit. Well, we should have been doing 1 unit plays all season long. Hopefully, upping it to 1 unit does not bite us in the butt. But NRFIs historically over the past 3 seasons have actually been one of our most profitable bet. If you watch our NBA videos, which we had a really good NBA day yesterday, video should be out in a few hours. I've been targeting a bunch of unders and unders in 3-pointers. We're kind of got to lean into more of the things that have been making us money, and NRFIs have been that. Now, that's not going to say that losing a NRFI doesn't hurt so good, but again, we'll lean more into NRFIs, and maybe some days we'll even have 2 or more. Let's talk about Brian Wu, who leads things off, and we need him to get those first 3 outs. Now, I'll admit Brian Wu hasn't been great in spring training, but the props and his lines that they're giving him are like, this guy might pitch a complete game. Now, I don't know if Wu does that, but I mean, the A's have a team total at 2.5 for the full game, and Wu has been really good, especially at home. This last season, 18-4 on NRFIs, 8-2 at home. He has the strikeout pitches. He has the ability to get weak ground balls. he's kind of like Sandy Alcantara. I mean, I don't know if he's earned that, but he's kind of feels like that. A lot of weak ground balls. He's just churning through innings. And look at the guys he's going to face. We know he's going to see Lawrence Butler lead off most likely. He's 1 for 10 versus Woo. Then you get Brent Rooker right behind him at 1 for 11. JJ Bleday 2 for 9, and then Langoliers 0 for 6. So all of these guys have really struggled versus the A's, who are still been winning these games. I really think you'll see Brian Woo navigate through the beginning and get us those first 3 outs. Then who is going to take us home in the bottom half of the inning? Please be a little bit better than Mr. Vito yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be a lefty today. Hopefully JP Sears watched what Osvaldo Vito did and said, I'm not going to have such a stressful first inning. Somehow Vito got out of it again. He was electric after that first inning, coming off the mound like that. JP Sears do the same thing. Last season, he was 23 and 9 on NRFIs, 12-5 on the road. So pretty decent stats for JP Sears. He was a guy we took several NRFIs of last season, and they did pay. And I do like the splits against this Mariners top of the order, right? Victor Robles, 1 for 3. Julio Rodriguez, 3 for 22 against Sears. Sears has had his number. Hopefully it continues. Raleigh, 1 for 9. And if it gets to Randy Arozarena, which I hope it doesn't, but he's 0 for 5 against JP Sears. So really good splits, really good numbers. And this Mariners lineup, Austin's already said it, bases loaded, nobody out, and they still did not get a first inning run across the plate. Hey, man, I'll take my chances all day, NRFI Nation. Let's find the flags again.
Yeah, we got no choice. Our hands are tied. We're cashing this NRFI. Hopefully for the 4th time in this series, it can go 4-0. And then we'll have to figure out where to go tomorrow when there's new series starting. But either way, let's wave these flags. Let's go 3-0. Those are only 3 plays. If you want to check out the NBA video, I'll link it over Logan's face. You can go check out that. We've been red hot over there as well. Have a great Sunday, a great rest of your weekend. And Logan, I will see you guys back in bright and early tomorrow morning. See you then. Peace.